Welcome to Kickstarter Talk, now on Indie Advocates. We are still the advocates for indie comics. Written Sins has evolved into Indie Advocates, and I am the new voice of Indie Advocates. I am the main advocating voice of Indie Advocates, as a matter of fact, and today I'm going to advocate about Kickstarters. This is Kickstarter Talk, Issue 10, the deep topics of politics, life, and death, fetish and fear, mixed with some dick jokes. That's not a typo. So let's check it out. New graphic, Kickstarter Talk graphic, looking good, looking good. We're in the new creative studio for Indie Advocates, so I'm going to be able to do a few things, like be able to talk with you guys live as you guys make comments. I've got a whole computer dedicated to it, so feel free to make any comments that you want. I am here. Hello, Tommy. Tommy is in our chat room, and I'm going to be paying attention the whole day to that, or the whole program. I don't know about the whole day. We're doing Kickstarter Talk a little different than we normally do. We updated the way we did it in the last couple weeks. I don't know why that. Don't you hate it when something gets stuck at the top of your screen? So anyway, we updated the way we do it. So here's how we do it. You go here to Kickstarters, and you're going to see a list of live Kickstarters. That's right. So we're going to read you the list of just the live Kickstarters, and at the end of the show, we're going to add in some other cool stuff. But for now, let's go down the list of Kickstarters already listed on Indie Advocates. So here we go. We're going to talk about the Liberation comic book, Multi-Larceny, A Nightmare on Egg Street, Kaiju Gods, Mentor Search, Fetish Baby's 3rd issue, Alter Life, Tales from the Black Circle. So we're going to get right into it. That's what's going to be covered on this program. So let's dive in and start off with Liberation comic book. Now, this is a little different. It's a little bit politically driven. And Tommy Sharp in the chat room said he's a big follower, which he is. We appreciate all the time he invests in watching these programs, so thank you. The Liberation comic book is an ambitious project being produced by political commentary website Facebook Sarcasm Liberty. The goal of this book is to create a comic book that shows the fun side as well as serious side of libertarianism. We hope it will be a tool that can help spread libertarian values. The book is being worked on by multiple libertarians and even some that lean further left and right. So why are we raising money? Well, for artists' time. Many of them rely on commission prices for the living. So to bring their talented artists we need to this book, we need to be able to raise money for their commission fees. So guess what that means? You can participate in some volunteerism. Everything you give will go directly towards the production of libertarian comic book. You can follow us at Twitter Sarcasm to keep up to date. We are going to quickly read you a quote here, because they didn't have a video, so I wanted to do that, to read their quote directly from them. And this is a quote that I had asked for to be able to give to you guys. And here is the quote. Whether you're from the left, right, or center politically, or our intention with this book is to make you think. It's okay to disagree with us. In fact, dissent is as good as it leads to dialogue. Now, that's what we want to do, start a discussion, which is pretty cool. I dig that. It's a little different. It's not something we normally cover on our site for reasons that, this could quickly turn into one of those my side versus your side nonsense things. But I don't see it happening that way because they're not trying to make it that way. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's an Indiegogo. You're just donating basically for the cause. Check it out today. I know the guys behind it, some of them, not the entire team, because obviously they're not listed. And I don't necessarily know who wants to be called out for being on it or not. Because I don't know if someone's using pen names just to avoid some hate. Because let's be honest, if you have a political view this day and age that's not popular, you get chastised. And I think that's important. I like the fact that they want to start a dialogue. And I completely agree with that. I think we do need to start a dialogue and be able to have a conversation that is bigger than we really allow ourselves to have these days. It's important. I like the fact that they want to start a dialogue. And I was just backfeed as I was opening up to see what's going. Keep going from Bob. Thank you, Fabian, but it's Rob. Don't know why. I've never liked Bob. Bob bothered me. Now follow your channel. Not following your channel, I think, but I like your incentive others. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So that's just from our chat room. But yeah, I mean, it's different. It really is. It's worth a look. I don't want to, as always, we move on quickly on this show. So you make up your own decision. But I think opening a dialogue is important in this day and age. And this is a great way to start a dialogue where maybe we can get all parties to the table and start talking to each other. We're going to go ahead and move on to multi-larceny. We're just talking about politics, so might as well talk about crime next. Multi-larceny is a science fiction crime comic of infinite potential. Multi-larceny one-shot comic, a crime story with a science fiction twist. Heroes, victims, villains connected in a race of time and space. Let's go to that bean footage.
Hello, and thank you for checking out our Kickstarter for Multi-Larceny. I am Matt Kuhn, the writer, coming back to Kickstarter with my second comic after successfully fulfilling Digital Forever last year. For Multi-Larceny, I am with the talented artist Bora Urkel on art and Ertan Sehan on color. Multi-Larceny is a one-shot, full-color crime comic that is a crime story of infinite potential. Please enjoy this trailer we have put together to showcase the art and give you a preview of the story. Thank you for your support.
Okay, I'm just going to mute that because I'm not sure about the actual validity of the copyright and whether or not it can be used. I'm going to let the video play out. It's interesting, you know, it definitely is kind of cool. I always dig people in talking about, you know, mysteries because I like to see if I can solve them. So I'm a fan of it. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's dark. It's gritty. It's right up my alley, to be honest with you. And what's most important is that you know what you like. And I say this on every show, and I'll say it now. You guys know what you like. So when it comes down to it, this is really about you deciding whether or not you like this. And if you do like it, then that's cool. You know, more power to you. Do your thing. But if this isn't for you, here's the catch. And I say this all the time to people. If you don't necessarily like this, that's fine. You don't have to like everything that we show on the show. You don't have to support every Kickstarter. But I guarantee you, you know someone that might like this. And because you know someone who might like this, wouldn't it be cool for you to be supportive and show someone that you know might like this actual Kickstarter? How cool would you be if you did that? I think you'd be pretty cool and pretty badass. So that's what I ask. If you see a Kickstarter on the show that you don't necessarily think is for you, and that's fine. Like I said, not every Kickstarter is going to be for every person. And that's okay. We all have our likes and our dislikes. And that's what makes the world a fantastic place. And so beautiful is that we're all kind of on this rock and we all have our likes and dislikes. But if you're like me, you have friends who have different likes and dislikes, and having such that you can find someone that will support such a comic book. So I definitely suggest doing that today. And that's your homework. Share it on Facebook today. We're going to move on to A Nightmare on Egg Street. Now, this is another one that didn't have a video to go along with it, so I'm just going to use my voice. I'll take a sip of the Coca-Cola. And I'll go to my horror voice. Fergie, is terrorizing the teenagers of Egg Street in this one-shot 28-page full-color comic. Check out the opening pages and cover here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to go check out those pages. Nightmare on Egg Street, as you can see. Here we go. We're going to roll down to it. See, now the funny thing is that I'm actually scared of Freddy Krueger. Truth told, Freddy Krueger ruined my childhood. So seeing this, as much as they're making fun of it, it also makes me a little afraid. But I backed the comic in hopes that this is some sort of therapy that will help me get over my fear. I don't know if it's going to work. I gotta be honest with you. Just seeing it brings me back to being a child, terrified to go to sleep ever again. But I'm hopeful. And I mean that. I really am hopeful that it makes me able to sleep. Finally, it's been over 30 years. Damn my sister for playing it and thinking it'd be funny. I was only 7. All right, enough of me crying. This does look cool, though. I like Swampline Comics. I like what they do. They got this cool way of bringing my childhood into comic book form, not combat form, but comic book form. And it's exciting, and they do a great job with what they do. So I definitely suggest being on board with this because it's fantastic. I love the art. Kim Roberts from Swampline, Chris Allen from Swampline. Always nailing it, always getting it done right. And you can see the packages in this are fantastic. And it was actually, I believe we featured this. Yeah, we did. We featured this on Kickstarter last, right? So you can go check that out to find out more right now. But we do have to move on. We want to get everyone on the show. And we're going to have to move on, but definitely give this a look. It's a great project. It's got some great incentives. Check it out now. This is Kaiju Gods. Kaiju Gods is a comic anthology of 14 stories, 180 pages, over 40 creators, all original kaiju content. Kaiju Gods. Look at that art. Look at that cover. Look how amazing that is. You know what? And here's some more amazing art. And we're going to go directly to Kickstarter. I have no idea why the video did not load. We're going to do that. We're going to go to the Kickstarter page, and we're going to play Kaiju Gods.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to check out the Kaiju Gods Kickstarter. My name is Alex Madej, the head editor of Kaiju Gods. Kaiju Gods is an upcoming anthology with 14 stories, over 40 creators from all around the world, telling original kaiju tales. The reason I wanted to make this anthology was there's something always exciting about kaiju and giant monsters. And even though the phrase kaiju was only coined like around the time of Godzilla, giant strange monsters have always been a part of storytelling. There's just something about giant strange monsters that show up out of unexplained places, whether it's the ocean or a cave or from space, from religion to ancient times. There's always seems to be these giant, strange monsters that are part of stories and lore. And when I think about that, that's just always been a part of humanity and storytelling from all places, all civilizations. That really excites me. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get a collection of some of the greatest minds and my favorite creators together and see what they could do with the concept of giant monsters. I went out and started talking to all the people I know that I wanted to get involved. And it turned out that a lot of people actually had giant monster stories that they wanted to tell, or kaiju tales. I think kaiju means something different to everybody, from maybe being scary to enjoying just the mystery of a new giant creature and not knowing what it could do next. The thing about a book this size is there's a lot of people involved and it costs a lot of money. This money will go towards print costs and distribution costs to have enough copies for us to bring to cons and sell on our websites and on our stores, and to you for backing us. So we're very proud of this and we want to get this out. Thank you for checking out our video, and I hope you'll be able to back us and enjoy some kaiju with us.
How cool is that? Kaiju Gods, man. Awesome team. And we had featured them on Kickstarter last rights, so I have the inside to some of this, but I just wanted to show you, if I remember correctly. Okay, here we are. We're just going to read some of the names on this. Alex Medea, of course, is on this. Cecile is there. Garrett Gunn is there. Nicholas Torres. You got Patrick Blaine. Kevin's there. And Daniel Warner from Masks is there. Eric Pelrick, Adam Ferris, and Leslie Atalencia. And okay, I think that pretty much covers it. A lot of creators, though, a lot of great people involved in this one. Check out Kickstarter Last Rights for our full details. And we're going to move on. Oh, it's my Kickstarter, Mentor Search. Check it out. And I can give you the pitch, but I'll read it. But it's our third date with readers. Time to get freaky. Barbara isn't looking to be saved. She's looking to be taught. Will Bruce say yes to being her mentor? Can Barbara regain her fetishes? Find out now on Kickstarter in Fetish Babies Mentor Search. Hey guys, I'm here at a Comic-Con. I'm on the road. We're talking about Fetish Babies issue 3 already, Mentor Search, coming to Kickstarter right now. Being on the road, I've met a lot of amazing people, and it's because of you guys who backed this project that we're here today. We've already had Fetish Babies become a big hit. We're about to hit the road with Aftermath, the Mentor Search. This is, of course, a young woman's journey through the New York City fetish underground, and it is up to you to help us get that third issue out and help us remain on the road at the Comic-Con so I can meet people and I can bring the book to change perspectives of what people think about people who have a fetish. Because thanks to certain movies that are coming out right now, we're looked at in a very bad light right now, and I want to change that. It's all about creating a narrative that explains the humanity in fetish. So join me and let's make a change in the world of fetish and learn about something some of you might not know, and for those who are into it like I am, it'll be something that you really appreciate because we put a lot of energy into it. Thank you for joining us. So, here's the deal. I'm on my last couple days with this, so I'm excited to say that I'm going to really be taking it serious. We're, I think, 8 days out right now. I've been kind of quiet on purpose, but I really do believe in this project, and I'm going to ask you guys to come along on take a trip with me. It's not about sex, it's about humanity and what it means to have a fetish. And if you've ever been curious or you have a fetish yourself, this is definitely a well-told story. I think that's one of the things that everyone who's reviewed it has said was the first thing is always how beautiful the art is. The second thing said is always how the story took them by surprise, how deep it was, how integrated it was into reality. It almost feels like it's someone's real story. It doesn't feel like fiction. It feels like fact. Check out Fetish Babies now on Kickstarter. Fetish Babies Mentor Search now on Kickstarter. We're going to go to Alter Life. Alter Life, Journey to the End. Hardcover graphic novel edition. I don't know why I sound like Screech on that. In a world of seemingly infinitive realities, Jake is on a quest to find his dead wife and daughter. But nothing is what it seems. I have touted this book to be the comic book version of Black Mirror. That's what I think this book is. Check out Alter Life.
Hello, I'm Caleb Toussaint, the writer and creator of Alter Life. Alter Life is the story of Jake, a man whose tragic life is forever changed when he discovers that he can enter his own parallel existences. Reeling from the loss of his wife and daughter, Jake decides to take his own life and discovers that he cannot die. Again and again, he returns, and every time he does, the world around him is slightly different. With this Kickstarter, we'll be bringing the 5th and final chapter of the series to a single issue for readers that have been following along. But our main focus will be bringing a beautiful hardcover trade edition to current fans and to new readers. This book is going to be a gorgeous hardcover with 160 pages of full color story with some variant artwork that we had done throughout all of the campaigns, conceptual drawings, script to panel breakdowns, as well as a few surprise pinups and some other little bonuses, including a little short that I did for a competition this past year. This also is a story that I've been developing for probably around 13 years. It's an idea that I've just been playing with, and I finally decided to bring it to a comic book a few years ago. And so this is something special. I think it's going to be a beautiful book. It's going to be something that you're going to have and be drawn back to and want to pick up and read over and over again.
And that's a very true statement with it. And I'll go as far as to actually go on to the Alter Life platform right now. After all, it is an anthology. It's worth a little bit extra time. So we're going to dive into Alter Life. And we're going to see if there's another video. Yeah, okay. So here, let's just check out this other video, because I think Caleb does a great job of selling the book. Let's hit the replay button. I don't know.
It takes just a second because you have to do it. It's like in beta test. So just go ahead and get that going. I'm playing because I'm here with him. That's part of my job here. Working on comic books and taking care of him. So if you hear little baby noises, it's because there's a little boy right next to me hanging out. Anyway, I couldn't be doing this stuff without you guys. So first of all, thank you all for jumping on and helping get things rolling. It's very exciting that we were able to hit the 50% in just a week. Actually, we went over a little bit. You want to say hi, Ray? Look. Hi. Say hi. There you go. Anyway, so we're excited because 50% in 7 days is pretty awesome, especially since this is double the amount of funding that I normally am doing for these. So thanks again for getting on early and backing. And if you can get more people on board now, just let people know. I'm spreading the word as much as I can. So since we hit the 50% funded and we got over 97 backers, which is the total number of backers I had on my first campaign, which was about 2 years ago now. So I kind of wanted to give you guys something special. So I'm on an update after this video. You guys will be able to get Z issue 1 digital for free. And I'm also throwing out there the little 5-page short I did with Marcelo Biot just a month or two ago for a competition, and you'll be able to read all that stuff, and we're going to put that short in the book at the end too, just as a little fun add-on. So feel free to check that out after this video. My next plan is, if we can hit 75% by next week, I'm going to unlock Nook, which is a book that's exclusively right now for Patreon backers, and it has about 12 pages finished so far, and I'm going to open up all those pages for you guys to read at this point if we can hit that percentage. So something fun to look forward to on that Next up is I kind of wanted to talk about the commissions that Katrina's giving, because the only one person that's picked one of those up so far. But the last campaign we did, we had these at the $500 backer level, because they take a lot of time for her to do, and they're very detailed and awesome. And you can see in the last update, you can check out some examples, but they're only $250 this time, and that includes like the full book and all the goodies on top of it. So I think it's definitely worth taking a look and seeing if that's something you want, because she'll do anything for you. It doesn't have to be any specific thing. It doesn't have to be anything with Alter Life. It can be if you want a cool Batman commission or something, she'll do that for you. So just hop on there and check it out. Speaking of Katrina, she's going to be giving us some cool Alter Life artwork to put up on the campaign as well, for either giveaways or stuff that maybe we can include if we can hit milestones. So in the last campaign, it was around October, and Inktober was going on, and she did a bunch of cool prints they were one-off prints, like you one and done, like only one of a kind, and I sold all of them. So we're going to have some more of those types of things coming up in the next week. I'll probably announce something before I hit up Fantasticon this weekend. So speaking of that, moving on to that, I will be at Fantasticon Toledo this Saturday and Sunday at Artist Alley at table A24. So if you're around the area, it's super cheap to get in that convention, and just come hang out, chat me up, get some free stuff, buy some books if you need to catch up. I'll have everything there. So I'm very excited to bring everything there. And aside from that, there's not a whole lot new. We're just going to keep plugging away at promoting. You can check on Sunday on majorspoilers.com. I will have a podcast interview up there with Wayne Hall about this issue, about the trade, and about kind of the journey to getting to do this hardcover. So I hope you can take a minute to check that out. It was another good conversation. I've done these pretty much every time I've done a campaign with him. So check that out on Sunday, and I'll be back here next week doing another one of these. If there's no questions, which nothing popped up, I will just feel free to leave me questions or suggestions for anything you might want me to talk about or bring up next week. And that's it. Thank you guys all for throwing in. This is awesome. We almost have 100 backers already, and you guys have exceeded my expectations in getting this hardcover book rolling. So on that note, I guess I gotta go. So all right, thank you guys, and I'll talk to you next.
All right, guys. So let me just turn off the fan. Turn on the fan to get some air circulating in here. Got a little warm for a minute. Okay, so let's move on to our next Kickstarter. That gives you plenty of reasons to back Alter Life, I think. I think that does it well. Here we go. This is weird. Yeah, we're going to figure out how to promote this today. Here we go. Buckle up. This is something very different.
The comic which you are about to witness is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of Scandinavian youths, in particular Varg Vikernes and his victim Euronymous.
The ban, a form of music, they say, has disturbing satanic overtones. It's called black metal music and encourages devil worship and the desecration of churches.
The events within the black metal scene would eventually lead to the discovery of a series of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of Norwegian history. These are the segments from the Black Circle.
a plan that several people should attack simultaneously all around the country. Because, you know, they were living all around the country. By burning a church, you pretty well make it clear that somebody disagreeing with what this society is all about.
Black metal was underlined by the arrest of Whats Hott last year. Known as Count Grishnak, he was charged with the murder of another black metal musician in Oslo. His victim was stabbed 23 times in the assault. Police believe that Olstein Orthet, also known as Euronymous, was fighting with the Count for leadership over a satanic terrorist movement involved in other terrifying crimes.
So now, how does one advocate for that? It's crazy, right? I mean, I guess we go with black metal. You're into black metal, you want to know more about it. Looks cool, though. Looks cool as hell. We're going to go to the actual page real quick. Just check it out, see how it's doing. It's already raised $2,000, which is awesome. It's definitely unique. This is definitely an out of the box book. I like how they've got the cover worn in and they have it looking like that, like it's been used. This is fantastic. You gotta check it out, man. It's crazy. I love goth girls. One of my favorite types of the way the girls dress up. I'll take a goth outfit over anything any day. So I'm a metalhead for life. So this is all in for me. I backed it, so I'm excited about it. I don't know how to really talk about it beyond that. But let's cut the tension in the room, and let's talk about dick jokes. Laugh it forward. Comedy and comics to change the world.
Hey, hooligans, how are you doing? I'm Sam, and if you're new here, I tell dick jokes for justice. Comedy with a message of hope, whether it's about LGBT rights, race relations, gender equity, economic justice, or a host of other issues. Sometimes people say to me, you can't raise consciousness with dick jokes, and I say, not even the tip? I'm on a mission to tell people why laughter is a moral imperative, especially when times are tough like the last year. If you're not laughing, seriously, what are you doing with your life? What, are you spending all your time avoiding parties so that you can prepare for the apocalypse? Now, I know certain Russian-influenced tangerines make that seem much more likely lately, but, you know, even if it does come, you're going to want to remember that you had fun now. So that's why I'm here on Kickstarter. I have published comics and comedy on whohooligan.com since 2006, and today I've got 2 new books worth of material to produce. And you can get one of the books, or you can get a bunch of other cool rewards down below. Check it out. There are comedy ringtones. There are caricatures. There are sketch cards. Even if you only pledge $1, you're going to get desktop wallpaper, and you'll get to help us decide what's going to be on the covers of these 2 books, because I haven't made covers for them yet. So all of you guys who pledge are going to help me figure that out. And at the higher levels, in addition to the books, we've also got, I can make videos like this for you, or at the $600 level, there's a party at your house. I will fly to your house and spend the day with you doing stand-up, playing improv games, whatever you want to do. We're going to have a great time bashing at your place, having lots of comedy and laughs. And whether you pledge or not, I'm also using this Kickstarter as an opportunity to spotlight some other great comic creators and comedians. So every day I'm going to be having some artist spotlights. So come on back and check them out. There's some great people. They're doing some great work. Have a look at them, see what they're doing. So thank you for coming. Let's have some fun and make the world a better place.
Who doesn't like a good dick joke? And I know everyone's waiting for me to make some sort of comment about don't be hard on this Kickstarter because it's got a sense of humor, and you don't have to take a pill to laugh. And of course I'm going to make those jokes because I do like dick jokes. I like all jokes. I did stand-up comedy for a while. I stopped doing it because it terrified me, to be honest with you, being up on a stage and the lights in your eyes. But I do think I'm funny. Everyone keeps reminding me I'm not, but I do believe I'm funny. All right, guys, that has been what's on Kickstarter Talk this week. Thank you for tuning in. But as always, we take a minute to talk about what's going on this week in indie comics. So let's do that. Of course, Kickstarter Talk is here, issue 10. The deep topics of politics, life, death, fetish, and fear mixed with some dick jokes. See all the exits off the Comic-Con Highway week ending March 9th through the 11th right here. And since today is March 9th, right now you guys can be packing to get ready to go see Caleb. You can be going to see Dirk. You can be going to see Frank. You can be going to see Casey Pierce, Seth, Damros, and Scott McMahon. All these amazing creators all going to be at, of course, Fantastic Con in Ohio. Check it out. Get there if you can. It's going to be fantastic. Yes, I like a good pun. Back and before they blast off, this is Kickstarter Last Right, issue 9, Bloody Larceny of Eggs and Kaiju Gods While Searching for a Mentor. That is Kickstarter Last Rights. The libertarian comic book is in need of we, the people, whether you're from the left, right, or center political. Our intention with this book is to make you think. It is okay to disagree with us. Autism Awareness is about education and acceptance, educating the public about special needs children and their value. Most autistic children and even adults don't communicate or socialize the way that typical individuals do. Autism Awareness R4AU attempts to break the barrier and help kids connect. They need a voice, and we give them one. They are our future. Remember, supporting any Kickstarter you saw today takes as little as $1 single. $1 single can show support, attract attention, help fund projects, support indie creators, help create new worlds. And here's a bonus. When you hit that $1 back button, suddenly anyone who's following you on Kickstarter gets a message that you backed it. And you've now shown people who are following you that it's worth their time and their money. If you're going to be running a Kickstarter soon and you want a great book to learn how to do it right or to do it better, Kickstarter for the Independent Creator, 2nd edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding by Madeline Holly Rising. Amazing creator. Did Boston Metaphysical Society. Just got off Kickstarter with that. And with Kasai. Great creator. Check it out today. Learn from one of the best. Multi-Larceny, a science fiction crime comic book about the potential multi-larceny let's start that over. Multi-Larceny, a science fiction crime comic of infinitive potential. One-shot comic, a crime story with a science fiction twist. Heroes, victims, villains connected in a race of time and space. And if you like to be scared and Freddy Krueger doesn't give you night terrors like me, check out, or even if he does, use this like me for therapy, A Nightmare on Egg Street. Something sinister is haunting the dreams of local teens in A Nightmare on Egg Street. If that's a little too intense for you and you'd rather giant monsters who are trying to wreck the world, check out Kaiju Gods. Kaiju Gods is a comic anthology of 14 stories, 180 pages, over 40 creators, and all original kaiju content. If you've always been wondering what fetishes are, what BDSM looks like when it's not portrayed in some sort of silly movie or on television in a negative way, I suggest checking out Fetish Babies. Fetish Babies is a story about the integrity, the humanity, and the ups and downs of having a fetish. In this 3rd issue, Mentor Search, which is Our third date with readers, and it's time to get freaky. Barbara isn't looking to be saved, she's looking to be taught. But will Bruce say yes to being her mentor? Can Barbara regain her fetishes? Find out today on Kickstarter, looking up mentor search or fetish babies. Alter Life, Journey to the End, hardcover graphic novel. In a world of seemingly infinitive realities, Jake is on a quest to find his dead wife and daughter, but nothing is what it seems. And ain't that the truth? I've called it many times and will continue to call it the Black Mirror comic book. What I mean by that is it completely reminds me of something that would be on Black Mirror. It's not only that good, but it's that thought-provoking and that just crazy. Check it out today on Kickstarter. Tales from the Black Circle is now live on Indiegogo. We just learned that this is about black metal. So if you have a black heart and you're into black metal and you want to know more about your type of music and what it can cause, and of course a fictional world, Tales from the Black Circle is now live on Indiegogo and is waiting for your support. And as we end most of these programs, we like to take a minute and ask you to take more than a minute to see how you can support your local veterans. You can do that by going on Facebook right now to Veterans Wife and see how you can support veterans today. We'd also like to thank all the veterans. We truly appreciate your service. We would like to give you an extra special thank you to the veterans who do not want to be recognized, the silent stoic types, who for them the horrors of war are nothing to brag about or even to be talked about, let alone thanked for. They don't put it out there for the world to know, for they are now struggling here at home with many different issues ranging from depression to even bad medical care. You are not alone. You are loved and appreciated, and you will always be our heroes. If you refuse the title, you are, whether you refuse the title or not, you are our heroes. This has been the first episode of Kickstarter Talk on the Indie Advocates platform. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back on Wednesday at our normal time and a normal day. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I am the advocating voice for Indie Advocates. If you want us to cover something for you and advocate for you, just send us an email to indieadvocates@gmail.com. Leave us a description of what you want advocated for and a link to the work.